goodies for the Subaru. So this is what we're going to be doing today, guys. An install of brakes. Welcome back to the vlog, guys. Obviously, if you're new here, this is my Subaru project car that I've had for the channel for a few weeks now. Today, it's long been known that the brakes on this Subaru WRX are terrible, so we're going to be installing slotted and dimpled, so not slotted and drilled, but slotted and dimpled brake discs, rotors, and then some kind of like hard street slash kind of track pads on the WRX. They're pretty cheap. I'll talk through the reasons why I chose what I chose at the end of the video or during some kind of voiceover part. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's basically just pop up the car, get the wheels off, and start doing this laborious task of changing over pads and discs. Right, so both wheels are now off. It's all safe up on jack stands. With respect to these ones are not terrible. These discs, they do have some ridges in them, and obviously, you know, there is quite literally no cut-ins here, no drilling here. They're all completely blocked up, so they need to be gone. These need to be gone. These pads are they're worn. There's nothing left on them. So these do also have handbrake shoes inside. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like, because I mean this is completely ruined anyway. So anyway, we're going to take this off first. So what you need to do is unscrew these, pop the retaining clip out, pop this off, and then you'll have ease of access to the pads. We'll put the pads in first before doing these, because to get the pads in you want to use an old pad to push the piston back in, and it's best to do it when you've still got your crappy discs on. So let's do that. Right, so done it, got it on. As you can see, had a massive issue. This actually wouldn't come off, and I do have these Irwin bolt grip things which are supposed to cut into it, but I didn't have any purchase, so I couldn't get there to get the bracketry off, to get the bolt off. So I actually had to split the caliper in two. So obviously the brakes are done. I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes, but that's it. This is on, new pads. Just gonna tighten everything up, do the front, do the other side, and then sit down and tell you why we've gone for dimpled and grooved rather than drilled and stuff like that. Right, well, I officially hate my life. I am hot, I am sweaty, I am dirty and gross, and I'm going to go and have a shower in a minute. So let me talk through that whole procedure. It sucks. I hate changing brakes so very much. I remember doing it on my 370Z for the first time, and it's just back braking work. If it was up high, it wouldn't matter, but because it's down low, no matter how high you get it off the ground from jack stands and stuff, it's always a pain in the ass. There's always bolts that are seized on because you get a second-hand car, no one changes the brakes properly. It's always a pain. That one was especially a pain. The front, okay, so you knew about the rear caliper. That's annoying. I'm still probably gonna have to bleed the brakes. I need to clean my hands again. The front caliper, the front offside one, wouldn't come off either, and I managed to loosen the bolt just enough so I could then hammer the caliper up and then out of the way. Oh, it's just a nightmare. It's all done. It's all done. Now, why did I go with dimpled and grooved or slotted? So I much prefer just the slotted discs. There's a lot of science behind the temperature differential between the two. Now, the science is proven. It's not something which you can argue with, like it's proven that drilled rotors have too much of a heat, like a temperature differential between the circumference of the drill and then the rest of the rotor. So much so that it causes premature cracking and breaking of the rotor. So as much as they look cool, which they do, it's just not worth getting. Now, if I could have got just slotted or grooved rotors for the Subaru, I would have done, but I could only get a hold in such short notice. I could only get a hold of dimpled and slotted or grooved ones. Now, with respect to that, I think it should kind of be the best of both worlds. The slight dimpling shouldn't offer too much of a temperature differential, and should expose or at least expel some of the gases from braking. Now, the front pads are actually okay. I was going to show you them, but again, once you kind of get stuck into these things, you just want to get it done. They were actually pretty good. They were Brembo pads. There was a lot of life left on them, but the rotors themselves had a huge lip on, so it needed to be done. The back was just disgusting all round. There was literally no pad left on the back pads. There was nothing. The handbrake is still an issue. I need to fix that. But all in all, good. A pain in the arse. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Hopefully I've made something with this video. I know there's going to be a lot of fanning about, but that's, it took all of about 3 hours to do that. I highly, 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 highly encourage anyone who has a car just to get a good set of tools. Don't do any of this shit from a garage. Just don't let them do it because it costs so much money. A good set of tools in the UK will set you back about £150 and it will cover everything you need and it will have a lifetime guarantee. And in doing that, you know, that £150, you're saving yourself thousands on doing the work yourself. You really are. Like, labour costs are insane these days. So do it yourself. It's not that difficult. It's just a pain in the ass. But it's, you know, if you're that way inclined, you'll enjoy it to some degree because it's a challenge. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I've got a lot coming for the Subaru. I still have to do a bunch of like kind of catch-up videos with other bits that I've done off camera, and give you a driving test and kind of tell you just bits and pieces. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I've been Mr. H.